Well, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
We got multiple emails, for this meeting. I'm sorry about that, but I'm really excited about us working on strategies today. Can I, someone want to share just briefly, and then that can be the opening prayer. I don't know if you guys have heard. You probably heard about the banks uh, that shut down. A couple of banks, three that they were fighting to keep from going under, and so there was some concern that this was going to be a replay, of 2008, and I'm hearing more conversation. I don't know if you hear that, but I hear more conversation about a dollar reset. You're hearing more of that, and the only reason why I say and dollar reset is where you have some people who, when they get concerned by toilet paper, there are other folks that when they get concerned, they buy gold and silver because there's just this concern that inflation and something's going to hit our economy and we're going to end up having a dollar reset. And I don't even know if you know what that would look like, but that would be a horrible thing. So when I think about our family fund, part of the beauty of what we're doing is that we can position our family. Nobody knows if we're ever going to have a dollar reset or if our economy is going to crash. No one knows that for sure. But I know that what we're trying to do is position our family so that if anything like that does happen, they've got some cushion to ride that out. Um, uh, and my prayers, Lord, give us more time, so that we can really put enough resources together so that if anything like that ever should happen, um, that we can help family ride that out.
Thousands.
So,
Yeah, that's a long way.
mm,
I said $1,000 is gonna take us a long way.
oh no, I'm saying we are nowhere close to being ready. So you're gonna have to, it's gonna have to be some decades. It's gonna have to be some time that he gives us to build. But
Mm.
because we're planning for the long haul, you never know. And so I like the idea that we're at least thinking of what can we do so if anything happens in our economy, that there is a cushion that our family can ride that. That's our hope and that's our goal. And maybe at some point when we're sharing the purpose of what we do, that might be one of the things at some point that we share, that what this could do as it grows. So Lord God, in the name of Jesus, I do pray for our country. And I do hear the concern from the powers that be that, oh my God, is this going to be a replay of 2008? And I see that our government is trying to do some things so that we don't have what Obama had to face when he became president, that we're not dealing with that. We were very close. And I don't know if people really understood how close we were to having our economy crash even worse than it did. But I'm thankful that you gave some wisdom to again the powers that be, and my prayers that you give people wisdom now. But if anything should ever happen like that, a dollar reset or an economy crash, I mean, inflation is not at some point as a country we're going to have to deal with inflation at some point, and people are concerned about what that's going to look like. But my prayer, Lord God, is that regardless of what it looks like, you are bigger, greater, more powerful than the world. He that is within us is greater than the world. And I thank you that you are giving us a little bit of preparation. My prayer is that as we continue to do this over the long haul, a huge preparation so that if our family 50 years from now, 100 years from now, if you tarry, that we will have positioned our family members and not have to suffer if the economy hits a tough place. So I'm thanking you that you've given us the desire and the wisdom for preparation. And my prayer is that at some point, our family members in total will see the value. Like Joseph, he prepared. So when there was a famine in the land, he was able to take care of not only his family, but he was able to take care of the nation of Israel, which was his extended family, per se. So I just see you helping us to prepare. I hope that we never have to face a dollar reset. That's horrible for countries that had to do that. But I like the idea of us preparing just in case. So bless our meeting again together, Lord. Bless our meeting today. I'm thankful that we never have to face any challenge by ourselves. You are with us all the time. And I believe that you're with our family all the time. So regardless of whatever we face, all is well because of you. We love you, Lord God, appreciate you tremendously, and ask that you again bless our meeting. And we thank you for it in advance. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray.
Mm.
Amen. Ah. Okay, so the agenda, do I need to show it to you guys? I don't know if you printed it, but the agenda is to opening prayer, which we did, a review. If there's anything in our meetings from our last meeting that I needed to correct, that you guys will let me know if there's any correction in how I recorded what happened in our minutes. Valerie, I'll show you the financial report. That's what we will do next. And then after that, we're dealing with the family fund strategy. And so then I'll hand that over again to you, Roy, so you can kind of navigate that. And I have the document that that includes what we have so far, so we can tailor that as we have learned to do recently. And part of the strategy, obviously, Dale, was the letter that you wrote, so we can pray about how to use that and all of that. So anything to add to the agenda? You guys okay with the plan for today?
Mhm.
I see head shakes. Okay. Any correction to the meetings? Did I make any mistakes in terms of how I recorded what we did last meeting? I see head shaking no, so I'm seeing no. Okay. All right, Valerie. So I am going to share my screen so that you can share with us the financial report. And I'll be able to, from here, show the bank, the bank balance, and also let me move the guys down here. So I don't know if I always show it. I don't know if you have anything to say about it. Okay. You're muted.
I don't need to see, because family has a copy of that. I don't need to show that. That just shows the balance, which is also on the balance sheet.
And here's the balance sheet. I know
Oh,
it's small.
I, the only thing that I want to ask is if everybody's had a chance to look at it. And if so, if they have any questions, because this is the same balance sheet from every month. The only thing that changes is if anyone has given a donation and the interest. If anybody had any questions about that. Because I don't know how in depth you all want me to talk about the balance sheet, because
right now, it looks good. It's good to see where we're growing and growing. There's no issues or anything like that. So, I'm questioning, is that interest? Should that be 8,000, 43 or
I
$8?
wish. I wish.
One day.
No, I think a motion, we approve the financial.
But
Okay. I'll approve. Aye. Okay. So then that's good. So then I'm going to stop share only so that I can pull up the strategies, because that's kind of the meat of what we're supposed to I gotta move you guys. that's the meat of what we're gonna talk about today. It's good to see us at 1,300.
Mhm.
You know, we broke the $1,000 mark and hey,
Mm,
Mhm.
I think we've done a lot of work here on the,
Mhm.
on the objectives and strategies. I mean, it doesn't seem heavy to me because we already approved the objectives, right?
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
Okay, and so what's laid underneath are really the strategic backup for each one of these strategies.
mm-hmm,
And so, I'm looking at, let's say, didn't a lot of these things we talked about already, right? You just typed them up.
Mhm.
So let's see, increase for 2023, the $17 level, which we approved. Let's see, recruit new membership, brainstorm family members.
Did we approve that, Roy?
yeah,
Well,
this part,
I thought we approved, let's say, for example, the first 2 points, that's the goal is to generate that $6,000 a year
Mhm.
at the end of the year. The 2 strategic points is, how to get that is through annual, our annual payments and also that one-time assessment.
Mhm.
That's now, okay, and then add new memberships. Those are like the key strategic points of those objectives.
Mhm.
Ideas underneath. Basically, when you read it, it goes right back into supporting those 2 points.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Unless we wanted to spell it out a little bit further, we can.
mhm,
But do you see the first point where she said increase 2023 to set well, that's a part of it already.
mhm,
Mhm.
You see, recruit new members, that's a part of it.
Mhm.
Brainstorm family membership that have not joined. Okay. That's a part of a tactic that's underneath that add new members. You know what I mean? It's almost like a subhead of that.
mhm.
Okay.
So if I did anything, it would be so we don't have all these multiple pages. I would just maybe maybe bullet point. Let's see, brainstorm members.
Can I tell you why I think that's slightly different?
Yeah.
The reason why this brainstorm is slightly different because it's like Valerie is saying, if we're trying to figure out how to get to $6,000, that we might talk to family members to see if they have some ideas of how to earn more money for the fund. That's slightly different
Yeah,
than
you're
the
right.
first 2 points.
Yeah, you're right. Because that way you're getting feedback whether they're official members or not.
Mhm.
You are including their abilities to provide feedback to us, right?
Mhm, mhm. I don't know how willing they would be to suggest.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
That doesn't matter whether they're willing or not. The issue is
Mhm.
that's what we will attempt to do.
Mhm.
Well, let me ask you one question though before we go any further. When we said $17, did we agree to that? Because I haven't added that to our balance sheet. If we're saying yes, we will add $17. I didn't know if we had agreed to. I know it was a part of
We
the
agreed to
objection,
it.
huh?
We agreed to it.
Yeah, I thought we
Okay.
did too.
Okay, then I'll change that in our next balance sheet because that's gonna, instead of it being 1483, it's gonna be 1,500 for each of us.
So one thing, Donna, when you send out minutes, if we agree to a certain point, then you might want to include in there adopted or something, so that we'll know that it's been adopted. And so therefore we won't need to discuss it.
That's good, Dale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can do that.
And
And like Dale, like Roy led the meeting today, he said, we never really voted on the budget, we never, voted to agree to the financial statement. We just look at it. So
Mhm.
that might be something that we add because what we're trying to do is also set up a way of operating so that people follow who come up will operate in a similar way. So I like the idea that we voted to accept the financial report. We probably need to do the same thing in terms of accepting minutes.
Oh, and motion.
So now we're becoming a little bit more formalized, and but also Dale, I agree. I'll include that next time.
Did somebody make a motion to?
We had talked about that earlier, and I think, kind of decided to be a little informal initially, instead of following, because it was only us. But yeah, at some point, we will have to be, more strategic in following the Robert rules if you want to, make it, official business or whatever. So,
Okay.
but it does remove, questions as to is this approved or is it just discussion? If you, vote on something, then that means that, that it's been approved by the core group, so.
Okay, I'll be sure to include that next.
No, and I'll change it on the sheet, so for next month,
Okay,
the balance sheet.
okay.
So-
So Roy, are you saying that this
Add
third?
the third bullet point would be the, brainstorm, right, with family members.
Mhm.
And not join ways to increase family funds.
Okay, so I'll just copy and paste this and put this up underneath
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
The membership.
Hmm,
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh.
Yeah.
no, yeah, make it the yeah.
Mhm.
And then the one that says recruit and send emails, that should be that's like a support of the second point. It's not separate, it's
Oh, okay.
like you have that bullet point, make a bullet point underneath, add new members, and then put that as a bullet point underneath it.
Recruit sent I think that fits better under increased membership. That we're gonna send a recruitment email as a way of recruiting new members.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, that fits better under this one than the first one, because the first one focuses on money.
Oh, got it. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay.
So then this first one, do
It's
we need to
done.
vote on it? Is that these are the three strategies that we will use? Oh, sorry for all this, that these are the three strategies that we'll use to grow the fund, just these three things.
Right.
Okay.
And okay.
When I finalize the document and send it to you guys, it won't have our ideas. It'll have what we voted on.
Mhm.
Move that one bullet point under.
Excuse me?
With that bullet point underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. That should take care of that section.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were cleaning that up, then you get rid of what Valerie ideas,
So do that now? Okay.
Mhm.
because we got that right saved somewhere.
Yep, we do.
You remove the bullet point, though.
Oh, that last bullet point,
Well,
wait a minute,
oh, yeah.
restore.
Yeah, take that.
Go and put it below.
Where you going?
I'll
Just
add it
put
to
it-
you.
You're just gonna put it up under the second one, up on top.
Yeah,
No, I'm suggesting that this fourth one, we don't use it because this is more recruitment as opposed to finances.
Right, so take that.
Okay,
So now we can delete this whole thing.
Is there some way that's mentioned, recruitment email sent to?
Yeah, I just added it to,
Okay, then.
because under the next one, there are ideas of how to recruit people. I just added that.
Okay, so take that out, delete,
Okay.
okay.
Added it under Valerie's ideas.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it added. Oh, you just,
Yeah, I added it right there.
oh, I thought we were just making new bullets. Okay,
Mm-mm.
all right.
Okay.
I don't know if these pictures are in the way, our pictures.
That's all right, you can move it out of the way if you want.
Okay, okay.
The, okay, so I would, just, underneath that, increase 4 to 6, just add the bullet points that make, sense.
Mhm.
I like that letter was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That open letter was like, who's that come from? That's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, that was Dale's heart.
No, I know. It's very well written and historical and gives a very clean purpose. I mean, I honestly think that letter should be, when we put this all together formally, that's like an intro letter. That's like an introduction, even before you get into all these objectives and strategies. Introduction to this. Why are we doing this? And that's so that I think
So I should have a bullet point that where we pull out the ones that we definitely want to do underneath it. So this one we should pull out as something that we would definitely do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put that as a
Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoops. I'll clean this up, guys, but
no, take your time. Just,
bullet point there.
Dinner after sin.
Huh?
Dinner after sin.
I can't hear Dale.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, just takes me a minute. I have another idea on this one, but
we can rephrase the wording on that.
Oh, because I did it twice.
That's like what? So it's the send an email is almost like share hearts, mind, vision, goals, etc. Sending, yeah, you know what? That's fine. Send
an email to family, sharing.
Just sharing, yeah. Take the to them. Like send an email, sharing hearts, minds, souls, goals, etc.
Okay. Sharon R. Oh, Jesus, darn it. Our heart, vision, goals, etc. Okay, and I'm gonna delete this one underneath here.
Yeah.
I agree that could be like a introduction. If we ever did a website, it could be an introduction. If we ever did something formally in writing, it, something like this could be an introduction. Another idea here in terms of an email is I wonder that, and you guys might say not too much, but I'll just throw it out here, is that because young people sometimes are more visual than an email. I wondered if we could take the substance of this and do a real brief 2-minute, 3-minute kind of visual of the points that are in the email, like a PowerPoint slice video. If we're going to send something to family, do we send an email or can we send something that might grab their attention because it's visual? It's a visual representation of every point that's there. we don't have to make that decision right now because we're gonna spend a meeting, on how we introduce this to family. But that was just an idea.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can you can
I
have
think
all the points, but then
Right.
music and video and, pictures of us or, just something more visual that it might grab them where they might see an email with writing and say, okay.
Or take your point and move it up there. Develop an informal presentation to the meeting you invite them to, PowerPoint side, and move that up there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it should be a, send them a summary of what we talked about, but it's in a PowerPoint. It's in a PowerPoint or technique, some way to make that PowerPoint pop out. I mean, if you did an email and you say see attach or whatever, and they clicked on that, then
Mhm,
there it is, all on a few pages. Makes it
Mhm.
makes it easier and simple to understand it.
Yeah. And you can touch you can touch the emotions more because of giving them a visual picture of it.
I agree. I mean, it's so the PowerPoint presentation or invitation, then what should happen, instead of having this huge production, pictures flowing, all that stuff, is really have a meeting, and maybe that PowerPoint presentation is presented to them by us.
Mm,
So each person or one person, they have a segment, and
mhm,
you do it, like a meeting to the people.
mhm,
Someone did, intro, maybe there's a financial, maybe there's this, maybe there's that, and then we do it, and then through that's family emotion.
mhm.
I don't know if we need to
Mm.
have a lot more than that. I think it needs to be from us to our family,
Mhm, mhm.
my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it should be personal. If you just send PowerPoint, you're opening up, looking at a PowerPoint is different than like George said, you presenting in the PowerPoint where you can all kind of input in. I agree.
Okay.
Mhm.
You could send the PowerPoint in advance if you want
See,
to.
I think that would be because
Mm.
I think a PowerPoint that would share still the points that you mentioned, Dale, would grab their attention. And if we do it well, it might motivate them to want to come to a meeting because they were moved by what they saw in the PowerPoint. And then we would re-emphasize all of those points, at the meeting, but the PowerPoint might move them to want to see what are they doing? This is different.
The intro of that letter should be a part of the intro. That
Mhm.
could be the intro that is the first part of that PowerPoint,
Mm-hmm.
or it could be a part of the intro letter, whatever it needs to. I think it needs to be at the very beginning,
Okay.
because that's like the emotional purpose of even doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about legacy and family and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
helping. I mean, that to me is it was fun talking about what's our purpose, what's our mission, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, and we tried to talk about why did we do this in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That letter outlines a lot of the reason
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
why we're doing it in the first place,
Okay.
Mhm.
and also keeps us kind of focused on us as a starting point and not all of this other stuff. So I just think, we build a PowerPoint presentation,
Mm-hmm.
um, to present to, or invitation to present to family members or
Mhm.
whatever. Attach and, to an email, present it to the family,
Okay.
something
Mm-hmm.
like that. I don't know.
Okay.
So are we saying just a small presentation when we send the initial email of invite?
So what happens is, and done this a lot when we have meetings with people, is you send them a presentation in advance. So they can kind of, if they want to go through it, they could see it, it's there. But the power actually comes from us presenting it to them.
Mhm.
Because, there's added points, that each person would make that ties into that. It's not just reading it.
Mhm.
Mhm. So are we saying that I mean, I'm just trying to
So we
think.
develop something that we can send to the family,
Okay,
That we attach to the email.
that we attach to the email. It's like an invitation, this, and and in that invitation, they get a chance to read what we're gonna be talking about.
and
And
that is the letter that Dale did.
that's the letter, but it's also the presentation that we're gonna give to them.
Mhm.
You know what, if someone reads the presentation and they see it, they see the work that's done, they see that it's something serious. It's done in a way where it invites them to participate if they want. If they don't, they don't. But
Mhm.
people who are there, you go through it. And at least even the ones that aren't there, they at least have a document that shows what we're trying to do.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Who-
young people, they'll appeal to that. That will appeal to them more than an email by itself.
Yeah.
Even older folks.
And even older folk, yep.
Yeah. But who's gonna do that?
I mean, I can help put together an outline. You guys might be more creative with how you want it to visually look,
Mhm.
but maybe when we're done with this next meeting, we just have a document that would what it would look like. And you know what I'm saying? We give
Mhm.
here's a rough example of what the document would look like in the communication. We go through it. If we all agree, then we send it.
Mhm.
So
Or
you said you would be willing to do that, Roy?
I'll lead it, and then what I want is the feedback, because you guys are, have sometimes I might be really pretty straightforward. And you might want to, it may need emotional connection
Mhm.
that sometimes I'm, you know. So,
Fine.
so next meeting, we will put together a presentation deck that will have the elements that we all have already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Thing doesn't need to be a million pages because nobody's going to read it. It's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just needs to be right where we're at. Okay.
And
So
even the PowerPoint presentation doesn't need to be long. That needs to be
No.
kind of short and to the,
Mhm.
and to the point.
I mean, it's a lot of work that went into this, but we got that intro letter, we've got the vision, we got the objectives, and now we're working on strategies.
Mhm.
Mm.
All right.
There you go.
There
Mhm.
you go.
And I put it in an outline, and you guys, let's add pictures, let's do something beautiful and do it.
Okay.
If you can do that, then great. You may have more skills of making it look better than I have, but I'll put it in an outline.
Okay. All right.
I've got the kind of a software, like you probably have something like that too, where you can take the PowerPoint and make it a video, and so that it can either we can keep it in a PowerPoint, or we can be the PowerPoint turned to video, music, all of that kind of thing that can still be short but impactful.
Can you add pictures?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with PowerPoint. Okay.
yeah,
I'm talking about
that's
real
the,
pictures.
yeah,
I'm not talking. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
We can add real pictures. We'd have
Okay.
to grab Valerie or Kathy or some, you maybe, and she would like that. We could say, or Fran, can you give us some pictures? Family pictures that we can use in a PowerPoint. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be kind of fun to do. Uh, so that'll be our focus next meeting. I like that.
All right, so the increased membership, send the email. Actually, yeah, a PowerPoint presentation or these 2 points are almost like the same kind of, but
Mhm.
let's see, develop an informal.
You're still up here?
Yeah, wait a
Okay,
minute. PowerPoint,
I was to say keep them separate steps because they're separate
yeah,
steps.
I don't know if they're separate now. If you're talking about sending out the PowerPoint in the email, then they're not the same.
Because right in the email, we might want to look at your email one more time to see if there's anything we might want to adjust to it. I mean, I thought it was well done. We probably don't have to, but we're looking at the email, 1 point.
why don't you,
PowerPoint is an actual step. That's going to take some work to pull that together. So to me, it's a separate
why don't you
step.
put something like create or develop, email, or you know what I mean? Because Dale's already done the lion's share of that anyway. But
Uh-huh.
by saying create, it's like an action point by the team,
Okay.
like send, what is that? So create or and send email or send great and send communications sharing, or I don't know.
Create and send an email to family. Simple. But we know that's where it's going, right? So don't need to say that.
And send,
What's wrong with develop?
is that fine?
Develop and send an email,
Develop,
Valerie?
develop PowerPoint presentation,
Mhm.
develop PowerPoint presentation.
As a
Okay,
separate,
also just do it like you just said, right? Develop PowerPoint presentation and send an email sharing our vision. When you combine them, I think they're the same points to me.
Or you can say develop PowerPoint presentation along with the email, along with what do we call that? And that email is, what is that? Is that like a family? Is that an intro email? Is it a
I
it,
would think that it
it
is.
almost deserves a title of some sort, because it's intro, I mean, it's like developing an email,
Mm.
that's like, okay, I'll
Mm.
develop an email. But
Yeah.
what is it? That email is a it's like a
Yeah.
historical, it's like legacy, it's like
Mhm.
yeah, develop a
Let me see.
background, it's um let's see.
What about incorporate a email, PowerPoint, I mean, intro with the PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, so create the email, keep that the same, but then like develop PowerPoint presentation incorporating um
The intro invite. Let me see.
no, that email is like what do you call it? It's like
historical introduction,
it's like intro or
Hmm. Uh,
it's almost, I'm sorry, my brain's not working good here, but it's like a it's a, it's a it's like an introductory, it's like introduction. It's like an introduction to why we're doing this in a sense.
mm,
Um,
or
uh,
legacy
create
introduction,
I was just getting ready to
this,
say legacy of family.
legacy introduction.
um,
Legacy of family. Let me see.
it's like an introduction email. What do we call this? It's our family legacy introduction email or whatever. Create a
Mm,
No? Create a family legacy introduction email, is it too many words? I like the idea of the intent, sharing our heart, vision, and goals.
Yeah, I want to keep that,
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
mm.
How did you say that, Dale? Which includes a PowerPoint
Introduction.
presentation? Is that how you said it?
Wha- Are we creating an email?
Yeah, I don't, it's like the creating email is kind of, it's not what, it's, the email is
Oh.
like the tool, but what we're really doing is doing a introduction, is create a it's like a message or God, I'm being anal. Create a family.
Because it's already done. You're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already done.
I still
Mhm.
think that, if you start with, like you said, develop a PowerPoint presentation,
Incorporating.
yeah, incorporating an email, sharing our hearts, vision, and goals, or whatever. That kind
Okay.
of.
The way you said it,
I think it's all one point. I don't think it needs to be two separate points.
develop
Okay.
a PowerPoint presentation. The way you said it was good.
That incorporates.
That
Incorporating.
incorporates
Our, what
our,
it is, heart, vision, goals.
it incorporates an email, a historical or legacy email.
No, it's not like this. I don't want
Okay.
to.
That incorporates an email, sharing our heart, vision, and goals. That's simple.
Why do we have to put email?
Yeah, to me, it's not email. It to me,
Yeah.
email is the tool.
Okay.
It should be incorporating. There's a presentation that incorporates. Yeah,
Our heart, vision, and goals.
yeah.
Because creating an email is completely separate, right?
Yeah,
Well,
because
the goal was we're
everything's
going to
gonna be-
send the email and then with it, attach a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, so they should be two separate bullets. We're creating the email, done, because you said we got to go over it again to make sure that this is all what we want to say. Then bullet point, we're developing a PowerPoint presentation and incorporates our hearts, vision, and goals. I mean, isn't that two separate things?
But I was trying to hear Dale who thought that we could pull it into one.
Oh, you're saying,
Yeah,
combined.
that's the only reason, Dale says he thought that we could pull it into one.
including an
Oh.
introductory, incorporating an introduction. Wait a minute. No.
That incorporates or includes a introduction email.
No, forget the email. Get the email out of
Sorry. Okay.
it. That incorporates.
I can say there, I don't think you, aren't we creating the PowerPoint from the email?
Hmm.
Are we creating the PowerPoint from the email that we
We're creating a PowerPoint that will include the email. That will include Dale's email comments.
then I
So
put that down there? Well,
that is a that's like it's like the introduction to the right. I mean, it's like an introduction to the family legacy in general, correct? That's what that. So we did, we developed we developed an introduction to the family legacy.
what about develop a PowerPoint presentation which includes
Well, let's keep it separate, okay? I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
Right?
The create introduction to an introduction that a family legacy introduction that shares the heart, vision, goals, and etc. It's like that like maybe the first bullet point because it is separate. It's like it's a introduction to the whole thing. Why in the hell we're doing this in the first place,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And then develop a PowerPoint presentation that will incorporate, that incorporates.
I just say put a done there that incorporates the sharing of our heart, vision, and goals.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we said here. Create a family legacy introduction. Maybe, you said get rid of the email.
On the last one, develop a PowerPoint presentation that incorporates the sharing of our heart, vision, and goals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the sharing.
Yeah, because I think, yeah. Because I think it shouldn't be at the create, at that one create. I don't think you need to put that on. I
Uh,
think it would be create, to me, I would say like create a family legacy, create an email. I don't think you need that shares the heart, vision, and goals.
oh, you don't need that part. Okay.
Mhm.
I think it should be right where you said it before when we say develop a PowerPoint. Just like you have it. I just don't think it needs to be that shares the heart, vision, and soul under create a family legacy email.
Okay.
I mean, because that says that we're creating a family legacy
Introduction
email.
email. And then
Okay.
develop
So this part right here, right? Create a family legacy introduction email,
Mm-hmm.
period.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just talking
I
to.
know, that's what I'm trying to be sure I'm hearing you, period.
I
And
just,
then develop a PowerPoint presentation incorporates the sharing of our heart, vision, and goal.
let me see.
These two bullets.
Yeah, PowerPoint I think has two P's in it. That's probably why it's regular.
And Dale's
Or a hyphen or something like that. I don't know.
and in Dale's letter it says what is family. So if we're creating
Yeah.
an email, why don't we put what he put in there? What is family? Create a create and it I don't know. Let's see.
No, I know where you're going. You're doing good here. Let's see. Here, let me do this here. Let me see that.
Or create a what is family legacy email. Let's see. What is
No, no.
Yeah, I think that narrows it because the email talks about what is family, but he also shares more. Again, the heart, the vision, but
It's like a purpose. Family.
or create a what is family in parentheses legacy introduction email. I'm just talking.
yeah, I know
Let's see.
we're a little wordy, but I see where you're
It's too
going.
wordy. Okay.
Yeah, but I see where you're
I'm
going.
just trying to create. I'm just trying to put in the Dale's title.
Incorporates the. I don't think you need to do that because we're going to show it.
Okay.
So so create family legacy introductory email that outlines the overall purpose, period. And then develop PowerPoint presentation that incorporates the sharing of our hearts, visions, and goals. And
How about something like create and send an invitational email and PowerPoint presentation sharing our vision and goals.
Say it again, because I could barely hear you there, Dale. Say it again. That sounds close.
Let me see, create and send an invitational email and PowerPoint presentation sharing our heart's vision and goals.
Okay,
Okay,
Oh, and PowerPoint.
better type it because he's too old, he won't
There
remember.
you right.
So it's good. I know it's time.
It's the one and done.
That shares the heart. I'll come back and see. I want to get the idea down and goals. To create an introduction.
invitation, didn't you say?
Yeah, just get the point, and then I'll clean it up. To create and send an introduction email and PowerPoint presentation that shares the heart, vision, and goals.
Yeah, there it is, in one
Yeah,
sentence.
that's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good, Dale. Okay. Introduction email. PowerPoint presentation
Okay,
that shares the heart, the vision. Get you guys out the way.
alright.
And goals.
Mhm,
That's it.
mhm.
That's it.
Yep, so we can,
We can get rid of all of this, right?
Mhm.
Good. Woo!
The
Takes a
thing
while,
about
but we
it
get
is
there.
when we do this, when we present it to the to people, it's short. You know, they don't
Mhm.
know all the crap we went through to try to
To get it, yeah.
yeah.
order a sentence. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is done. Let's see.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. So then the other, do we need to include these other, because remember there was an idea last time of maybe having somebody talk to family first. Maybe we don't need it if we do this.
I don't think we need to.
Yeah,
I mean, you can just that's like if you want to do that, you just go ahead and do it. But
Mhm,
the formal thing is what we're doing now. I mean that
mhm.
if you wanted to put another point under there, you just need to sketch. You know, oh, there it is. You know, set a formally set a date to do it.
Mhm.
You know, schedule like a date in May or whatever.
So really, this is March, April. So we can schedule a meeting in April to finalize this, where
Yeah.
we then we're inviting family to a May meeting. So
Right.
April can be a planning meeting, May can be when we ask them to come.
Right. So,
Mhm.
you know, so set a meeting, put that one point, not the rest of it, but
Mhm.
yeah, this point here.
This one,
For May, you don't need to have discussed the file,
Mhm.
yeah.
because we already.
So I would say set a meeting for, we'll put it here. For April, next month.
No,
No,
May.
no, May, this is to discuss how we're going to pull this together. And
No,
then,
No.
okay,
no,
no,
we don't need all that. No, because it's if we're gonna meet anyway, that's what we're gonna do. This is
Mhm.
the meeting that we're gonna schedule to get the people that may want to join
Yeah, that could be put on the agenda, Donna, but it doesn't need to be put.
a part of this. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
as part of the strategy, okay.
No, it's what we're gonna do we're gonna do in April. We're gonna just do that in April. We don't need to put this in this document.
Gotcha.
So we're setting a meeting for May to this then discuss the following.
So what are we setting?
So
the
the
meeting
purpose
for?
of a meeting in May is to invite, that's the meeting that we would invite family, right?
Yeah, this is the meeting that we will present to the family.
So it's
Whoever.
not to discuss, it's the presentation.
Mhm.
No, not in May. Yeah,
In
I guess it is. So we're talking about April, we're gonna meet to finalize what we're doing now. Right?
April, right,
Mhm.
Yeah, because these are the strategies. That's what I was saying, that April would be the meeting where we discuss how we're going to do it. And then these are strategies. And then in May, we actually have the meeting where we invite them.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Donna.
Yeah,
So you're saying put every step of the strategy in there.
yeah, that's what this is, strategies, right?
Okay.
No, Deb, Roy, isn't that what we're doing?
I don't care, it's not a, yeah, if you want to, it's fine, it's good.
Okay. So the meeting in April is to plan.
Finalize or
Yeah, finalize.
finalize,
Presentation, whatever.
Presentation. Yeah.
Okay. Presentation.
okay,
And then invite family to a May meeting.
Send invite. Oh, that's fine. No, invite. No, just invite is good.
Mm. To introduction meeting in May.
sure.
Ugh.
Excuse me.
Hmm?
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
okay, so what's,
That's good. So I'm just looking at what Valerie had and what I had to make sure we covered every idea.
no,
I think we did.
no, delete it,
So no other strategies. This would be a main strategy for this month. Valerie, I thought there was an idea that you had where we would invite, did I read that wrong? Where you would invite family members periodically? Like, once we do May, do we not invite them
I
again?
think that's a future goal. I don't think we need to deal with that until after we do this initial.
But that's what we're trying to do, is to plan the goals for the year.
Uh,
That's what this is. These are our objectives and strategies for the year. We don't have
Yes.
to set a date for it. I just wanted to be sure. I remember you saying that at some point we might want to introduce, invite them periodically.
I don't remember saying that, but I didn't know we were setting them for the year. So that's.
I don't either, because I think we can also adjust this if we need to, after we have our meeting. We
Mhm.
Mhm.
we can see if that's even needed. I mean, maybe we end up getting people who wanna participate like now. And
Mhm.
maybe, maybe the ones that aren't, maybe there's another way, or what would help them to want to participate, what steps are needed. I mean, those can be parts of some discussion we're having at this meeting.
Okay. All right. So are you
And
guys,
we can come back here and add, Donna, is what I'm saying. The objectives
Okay.
don't change. The strategies may change.
okay. All right,
Yeah, so let's just work till June. I would say let's do.
Mhm.
just do these so we can, anything else we can kind of come back to this later. I can
Mhm.
delete the rest, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
gonna be a good meeting and discussion when we get it all pulled together, and then who knows what's gonna come out of that. There's gonna be some results that come out of that,
yeah.
even just through discussion. They, you know what, I wanna, but can I do it in this month, or blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, or, I mean, there's gonna be some discussions that come out of that.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, I really like this, and, I
Mhm.
would add that, and I mean, we kind of wanna, we don't want it to be 100% one way from us to them.
Mhm. Okay,
And then, so we may have some different steps down there that might be added to this after that meeting.
No
Mm.
problem. Good. Okay. So good strategies for the first two.
Strategies for the first two. So where's the other one?
Develop the family fund structure.
Future, you know. I think we should stay there, but I think it's future.
What you say, Dale? My ears are
I
bad.
said, I think those are good points, but I think it's the future. I think we want to try to get ourselves established, try to get our members if we can and whatnot. I mean, internet research, talking to lawyers and fund managers. I mean, if you want to do that, then I say then, you know, it's always.
I would say in the first year, we should
Mhm.
have some conversation about this within because I'm thinking year. So Roy, when I'm thinking strategy, I'm thinking, what are we gonna work on our first year? So this might not be something Valerie said, April, that we will start the process of research. So I would say that in this first year, for us not to at least research this would be, it would be, I think, a shame that we didn't at least look at it. We might not set it up, but to at least say, I think that, by December of this year, to at least be able to say, at some point, I think we want to move toward this direction or next.
Then let's move back to like June. Let's make this strategy our first 6 months. Then after we met with the family and all of that and then we can move to the next 6 month strategy.
Okay. So we would start the process in June.
I mean, just a thought. I
I know.
What are everybody's thoughts about that? Maybe starting the process of looking into that in June.
Yeah, just looking at
Do
it.
we want to wait till next year? I mean,
I'm saying there's always good information to have, so that when we're ready to make that step, we'll know some things about it. Well, I mean, just in my opinion, I don't know, right or wrong. I'm thinking that we're making good process, and I think we're laying down some strong foundation right now. I think this year is a foundational year to me, where we're getting a lot of the stuff that's we're going to build upon. I think if you build your house too fast, then the wind can blow it down or whatever. So I'm thinking that our foundation is happening right now.
Mhm.
And I think that should be our main focus for at least, a few months here. I don't know how long. It's just a thought. I don't know how other people feel about that. But I still feel that this is our foundational year, and we don't want to build too fast.
I just been nervous about lawyers and all this shit. It just really
Mhm.
it's bugging me at this stage.
I'm not saying we should get a lawyer.
wait.
I don't
let
think
me
we
have
should
a
get
thought.
a. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
only
sorry.
reason why I'm hesitant, at this point, is based upon what Dale is saying too. We just got this thing kicked off. We have $1,300 in the bank. We are trying to get more members. We're trying to set up our initial program. If we're presenting, what are we presenting to anyone? At this particular stage. I mean, I think we need to do this. It's just that I don't know how soon we need to do that. And that's the part that I need to feel, you guys may have a little bit more experience, Donna, et cetera, at this and setting these things up. But I just, every time you talk to a lawyer, there's cost. It's like, I don't know. Eventually we got to get here. It's just when. And that's the only thing that I don't know, Donna. That's the part that What's first?
Mhm.
I think develop a family fund structure. It should be an objective. It is. It should be. It should be up there like now, right away. Maybe you're right in regards to at least starting the process
Mhm.
now, and that is, and maybe by starting the process, we are talking about this every meeting. We're talking about it. What are we doing? What would you find out? What are some of the steps? So I think that part of it is right, and I think it probably should be a part of this initial structure. And just here's my point, and I'm just rambling. We got to move in the right. We got to move in the right pace. You know, I mean, I probably in my head jumped to Z, in which I need to stay at A, B, you know, at the very beginning. So, and that's where Donna, I think, is coming from. Let's keep this. It's a priority. We need to find out more about it. We don't know anything about it. We need to find out. Keep it on there. But you know, how fast we move to this or to that is something that we're going to have to continue to discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because I don't see us doing this right away. I mean, like you say, it's gonna cost money, we don't know. So once we see the process, we can say, yeah, we need to do this, but this might be a couple of years out. You know,
Yeah.
or it might be, but at least we know, yep, trust fund is gonna cost us this amount of money, and we'll do this in, 2 years from now, or whenever, but at least we have some idea
Yeah.
of where we're going and the why of it.
yeah, because everything that we're doing is for generational. It's not just for us.
Right.
So that's the only reason why I think that right now it seems more like a family club, just a family savings.
Mhm.
But is that what when you say foundation, what do you mean when you say foundation, Dale?
I know what he means, but go ahead, Dale.
You know, it's just like when I say we're building foundation, that's just like anything that you build. You know, if you build on sand, then what you're gonna have. If you build on concrete, what you're gonna have. You got to build on a strong, solid foundation. Right now, we're setting up foundation. And we got to build it solid. We got to make sure that the foundation is going to stand. Then we build upon that. I mean, we're taking steps, and I think we're taking great steps, in securing our foundation. But if you move too fast, you move before the foundation is settled, then things have a way of falling through the cracks. So I'm just saying, let's not move too fast. Let's continue to build, but build at a pace, that's going to allow us to make sure that we're taking right steps instead of just taking quick steps. So that's what I meant by foundation, is that all the stuff that Donna said, as Roy said, is good stuff and good information, stuff that we need to know. But when do we move on that? It's a different story. It's not try to push ourselves so fast because we have a good idea. And it's not so much that it's just a club. This is something that we're trying to establish a legacy, but right now we're trying to build. Right now, like you said, we got $1,000 in the bank. That's what these first 5 years actually were for, just so we can build enough money so that if we wanted to do something, we could do something. Right now, where we're not at a stage where we can do anything, other than support each other, emotionally. We couldn't do anything financially for anybody right now. And if we had to pay somebody to do something, then we would deplete our funds and we'd be right back to square one. So I'm saying let's build foundation and take steps that make sense at the right time. So I'm with Roy on that one, that all the things can be done, but when.
It's like
Here's-
I'm building a car. Boy, I'm gonna get this fantastic car. I'm gonna build. I'm gonna sell this sucker for $100,000. When I get it done, or 200,000. But at the very beginning, I only have an engine, I haven't been placed in there. I don't have the right tires. There's things that I need to build in order for me to get to that final goal. Right now, I think what scared me, it not that we develop a family fund structure. That doesn't scare me. What scared me is all of these steps before we, before I even had an engine in my car. And
Mm.
that's the part that I just got personally nervous about. And that's so I agree with the developing of funds, and I agree that we need to continue to research. I don't want to invite no lawyers or any of that other crap. I just like to be able to find out as much as we can about what we need to do. And then when the timing's right for us to move, then we can start getting presentations from these people, from thoughts from folks or whatever. That's all I'm saying. I got a little nervous in regards to how quickly we were getting to the tactics, and that's my fault. That it's not. I took it wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
because I'm not saying that we should hear and form it. We're not there yet. But I remember talking to a lawyer who gave me an idea. I said, oh, I hadn't even considered that. Oh, wow, I didn't know that that might be something we need to consider. So someone who could give free advice about here are some things you might want to consider when you're moving forward. Whether it's 2 years from now, 3 years from now, at least there is a perspective of someone who knows about family estate
Yeah,
planning for stuff that we could never know because we're not in that field.
that's true.
And that's something that we would move on until we're ready. But at least we know, okay, at some point we need to consider this part of our foundation. But at some point we need to know that this is in place. This is how we protect ourselves. This is, somebody that can give us some insight beyond what our knowledge is. And would we move on it now? No. We would decide when we're ready to move on. But at least we would know where we're moving and the
Yeah.
why of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess that would probably be one of the worst things, to be ready to move, but then you don't have the right tools to be able to do it. But if you just put the tools in place, and then when you're ready for them, all you got to do is unpack them and go.
Yes.
So it's good to have the information that you need. So
Mhm.
I would agree with you.
And so, like Valerie said, maybe this isn't something that we focus on right away. Maybe this is something that we begin to look at in June, July, latter part of the year. Once we're
Like I
clear
said,
that
those
we've done
steps,
everything.
if you got people that you know that you can ask questions about, I mean, all that stuff is good information. You can find out information anytime you are in position to find out information, or you got time to search the internet for something that's in question. Not saying nobody's stopping you or saying that that's not good stuff to do.
Mhm.
It's just that, when we're going to take steps on that, that's where it needs to be decided. So information is never wrong. You can never, be in a bad position and not learn. So you can learn anytime, but what do you do with that knowledge is what we're talking about.
Yeah. And we'll use wisdom there. So,
Mhm.
yep. So then you guys I've already done some research. I've already talked to some folks who are willing to talk to us at no charge.
Mhm.
But when we're ready to proceed with information,
Mhm.
not saying start and form anything, that would be ridiculous.
And that's the only good thing about, having multiple people is that you got some people who are dreamers who wants to run fast, but then you also have the people who are more strategic and wants to slow it down. So then you find a happy medium in there, and then you move at a pace that's right for everybody. So
Yes.
kind of you're the person that's going to run out in front, and you're gonna be like, "Come on!" And we're gonna be the people like, "Hey, hold on a little bit," I think, so it's good. So it's good to have you out there, looking for all this stuff, and stuff that I probably wouldn't even thought about. So I mean, it's all good, and that's why we're all in this together.
Yeah.
feed off each other, Shannon. So don't think anybody's putting down any of the ideas that you have. Anything, it's just that, we're just trying to find a happy pace that's good for everything.
That's a very good point. Happy pace.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm probably more conservative than in this initial approach. We've only been doing this for a couple months, and so I like the happy pace, but I also like that that's something. This is knowledge that we need to gain because I don't have a clue. I mean, and so
Mhm.
so we could I wouldn't make this if we had this in an order that I would put the bylaws before I put this one. You know, I mean, just but while we're on it, at least, you should keep that and then add a couple of bullet points underneath what we need to do. So
Okay.
let's add a couple of points from this. And as far as I'm concerned, in regards to talk to lawyer, talk to this, do that, those are tactics underneath one of these points that we're gonna, that should be done anyway. And Donna's got a good lead on that. Maybe Valerie does, I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and let's say start I don't even, I mean, whenever you want to start it, I mean, this could be done like now. I mean, if that's what if we're researching and getting information, you know what I mean? It's not that we're gonna do so. Even if we had another meeting next month, and our goal of the next meeting was to develop our presentation and get it ready to invite family.
Mm-hmm.
There's some new news to be added to this particular section that we need to be made aware of. Why not share it?
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the minutes, that's, but may not be our initial focus, but maybe we learned something here and there.
Okay.
But like Dale said, it's the pace of moving forward. That's gonna probably be a stickler on all of us, you'll, just like he said, how fast do you want to move? Okay, so what did you do? What do you want to put there underneath?
I would say hold all this until at least after June. I think our focus should be on what we've been talking about, our strategies and meeting with the family and all of that. That should be our next meeting's focus and not stray from it. Me. And because the meetings will get longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
But I'd say after we've met with family and everything like that, June, that we can add that to the agenda because we do need to start thinking past that. We're not just meeting every day every month just to see how much is in the bank. After we got our mission, we got our objectives, we're bringing family in, we're going to do our bylaws, which you said should be next. From there, then where are we moving from there?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
To me, it means that we're starting to talk about structure. So I would say I would say in June that we start focusing on what is it that we want as far as structure. Do we have to do anything? No, but what is it that we want as far as the structure of this? Not just putting money into it, but what is it?
Yeah.
So I would say June, just at least start investigating it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And like you said, Roy, we can, like I've been investigating, Valerie may have. And so, but in June would be a good time to say, okay, this is what I've learned so far.
Right.
We still need to learn this because you guys will have questions. What about this? What about that? Oh, that's good. We need to research that. So when we start to share what because I think Valerie's done a little research. I know I have. But then once you bring it to you guys, there'll be questions and we'll say, God, I don't know. Let's look at that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So this multitude of counsel safety. And there'll be questions that will come up that we'll become more aware of what we need to know. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But then as you kind of talk about stuff, you realize, I don't know. I don't know. So I like the idea of maybe focusing on just getting family members doing our presentation. That's good, and then maybe June, that's half the year. Would be a good time to begin research, not to do anything, but just for us to know.
Mhm.
Okay, so fix that now.
Well, I put June here, so start the process. Should that be moved up?
Move it up to underneath the develop.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Not
okay.
secretary, so it takes me a minute. Okay,
Mhm.
so the start the process to me is the research. So that's what that means, that we're investigating, we're really research. Start the process of investigating and researching.
Mhm.
Okay,
And researching.
I'm kind of really getting the feeling that, after this presentation, there are some things that we need to focus on. Presentation, when we start talking about the financial plan, how are we going to present that,
Scoot
and,
up, Dale.
uh,
Scoot up, I can't.
understand when we're doing the presentation, there are things that we need to be able to talk about and talk fluently about, in a way that's gonna pique interest. We start talking about the financial plan, we start talking about the vision statement, all the passion that went into that, how can we bring that out and show that to people, the mission statement, how do we come to that? When we start talking about those kind of things, we want that to be something that's going to pique their interest as well, as to how we got to where we are with the statements instead of just coming out our mission statement is to be the best we could be. And that's all we got to say about it. So I mean, you wanted to, I guess, kind of pique interest. So I mean, those kind of things we need to figure out how are we going to present that? Is it just going to be a PowerPoint of what it is, or are we going to speak on it? But I guess that's always going to happen at the next meeting, I guess. But just something to think about.
Yeah, that's true, because you could say these are, because we want you to be a part of our building and a part of where we're going. And part of what we need to still work on is,
Mhm.
structure, because again, Fran and Kathy, structure is going to be key to them. And so to be able to say we're headed toward here,
Mhm.
would answer if they had any specific questions.
Mhm.
That's coming.
Mhm. I mean, because we could easily say that we're doing the 52-week challenge, and after that, then we're going to go from there. I mean, there's many ways that you can approach it, even as far as structure.
Mhm.
You know, you know, they both would understand you're trying to do a 52-week challenge, and you're trying to build your fund, and from there, then we're going to start talking structure. So there's, like you said, there's many ways that we could
Address
present.
that. And we can say we're just starting to research that, that we're, and if you guys want to be a part of that, that would be fun. That would be good. But we're researching, the best way of proceeding forward. So maybe next year we would be clearer on how to answer that question.
Because it's a 52-week challenge.
Mhm.
So I mean, bottom line is we could keep it at just a 52-week challenge
Mhm.
before we start starting the next phase of structure. So it's just many ways that we can look at this.
Mhm. But we won't know that till we know what we need to do. Because we'll look at it and say, we can't deal with this now. We know where we're going, but we're not in any place to move on that now.
So let's I mean, we have a financial goal of $6,000. Next year might be a financial goal of 20. Who knows? I mean, so
Yeah.
I mean, so whatever the goals are going to be for next year, then we're going to say, okay, how do we get there?
Mhm.
So 52-week challenge and a little bit this or whatever, wherever it is. So if they're part of that and they see it growing, that's great. And then you know what the final thing is, if you can see what are you trying to accomplish, maybe maybe I mean they see this like goal, you know, that is reachable in the future, you know, that makes sense. I mean, that's where your passion starts coming. I mean, those are like dream goals. I mean, what do you want to have? I mean,
Mhm.
imagine if we had like a legacy that we wanted that money to turn into extra money, and we wanted to, you know, buy houses. I'm just,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
but you know,
Mhm.
maybe a way of being, you know, new kingdom. You know, I'll be dead and gone, but maybe there'll be a Cowan dynasty or a
Mhm.
or family dynasty. You know, maybe you don't we don't know where that, but it started from this small thing.
Yeah.
But you know, and if you had their feedback into that, then the dream can be together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's how you connect them even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So that's gonna all be hopefully well said as a part of our presentation.
yeah.
And the advantage of inviting them periodically,
Yeah.
you know, as we progress, you know, we can have, you know, a periodic meeting that says, we want to give you an update of what we've worked on so far.
That can be twice a year or once a quarter,
Yes. Yeah.
but twice a year. I mean, it's because in reality, if you don't get it after a certain while, I mean, you know, you can't pull, you know, everyone to you know, to drink the water. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone's not gonna want to go that way. So
Mm-mm.
you just gotta. I think you just need to be able to just like update people of the progress.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Update, you know, they see it up there. So, oh wow, okay, oh yeah. I mean, it's then you know you kind of yeah. I need to be a part of that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or I want to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, isn't it interesting? Our purpose is not the. If someone wants to be a part of this because they want to get money out of it, that's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
That's not our heart.
Yeah.
it's not where yeah. So it's so the that's why the mission and the vision and everything that's set. It's the reality. I mean, we're trying to help each other,
Mhm.
not and we're trying to grow this fund, but we're also trying to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me say this in terms of this one is that I think that everything that's here is what is part of the research.
Yeah,
You know, that maybe just putting in there, start the process of research, that extra steps would come as we begin to research. Because
yeah,
this is a part of the research,
yeah,
right? The cost, the when and the how, you know, maybe that's going to be natural because we're not going to do it this year. We know that. So we may not even need to have that in there because we ain't gonna do it this year.
yeah.
So
I think
um
that I think those are ideas of how to do it. I think we can
mhm,
wait on putting that in the document.
yeah. So if we just say this is the, you know, we might take us 6 weeks to research all this. I mean,
Right.
6 months, you know. I think that's sufficient as a start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe the name of the fund, but we don't know what fund we're gonna do. So once you do the fund, then the name is gonna be automatic. So I
And
think
then
this,
let me ask you about bylaws. Are bylaws structured according to what you have,
you
or
will
is
need to
bylaws
have,
bylaws?
you will need to have Stride's bylaws anyway. And Dale, when you think about, so I'm gonna delete all this. Is that okay? We can shift
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
bylaws?
yeah,
Okay,
delete it.
okay. So, because I think, bylaws, those are questions that, and we probably, you know, when you think foundational, that's, you're going to have questions that are going to relate to bylaws. How are you going to determine who gets the money? What is the process of how you do that? That is what your bylaws will cover, is how you operate. And that's part of foundation, Dale. You know what I'm saying? You say work out the foundation. How you
Mhm.
operate is a foundational piece
Mhm.
that you need to have in place before you pursue structure anyway. So yeah, I agree that we would move this one, Roy, to 4. You know,
Mhm.
we would make this on the bottom of the list,
Mhm.
the structure, because the bylaws will be the next thing that we would want to focus, and we can still do research while we're working on because I don't think it's going to take us that long, because we've done some work on bylaws.
Mhm.
We just need to look at it and then decide what things we can decide and which things we can at this point decide.
Mhm.
I think going through the master list will help us with the bylaws.
Mhm.
And plus, I'm going to, and I'm on my own investigation, see what other family fund bylaws incorporate, because I don't know too much about bylaws. 'Cause
Mhm.
I mean, you said it's how you run, but how do you know?
You'll see if you look at even your nonprofit, you'll see that you had bylaws. You had to have bylaws to even set up your CARES or us. You just had people to help you to develop your bylaws. You know what I'm saying? They give you standard bylaws.
I,
Um,
I
uh,
understand that. I'm saying, how will we know what the structure of our bylaws are?
yeah, yeah. So what I try to do is give us some idea. And really what it is how do you want to operate? You know,
Mhm.
our bylaws is us looking at how do we want this fund to function?
Mhm.
Really,
And
that's
that's
it.
the question. And that's the
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the
And
big
so,
question.
yeah. And
How?
so what I try to do is come up with ideas of how we operate in our premature. Roy acknowledged that, but that's what the master things to do is how do we operate? How do we vote? How do we decide who gets the finances? I tried to come up with everything I can think about in terms of how a fund would operate.
Yeah, that's an excellent start that we already have there. You know,
Mhm.
that we've already kind of talked out. Donna's right about that. I mean, the bylaws are gonna come from that and more that we could, come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's right about that.
I mean, it's good, Valerie, for if you find a document of how someone else has set up bylaws, it's always good to have a template. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you look at and get ideas from,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good idea. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we can use that, so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that something that we're going to be discussing after in June? We're thinking bylaws is next on the list after June.
I think it needs to be, we probably do need to formalize that a little bit more.
Mhm.
But that's nothing that we're going to present to the people
Right.
Mhm.
in May. But this one, I mean, every company I work with always have bylaws
Yeah.
in a little book. They always can, in case somebody had questions, they go to the bylaws. Here's the rules. Okay.
Mhm.
And it basically shuts up everything because it's there and it's
Mhm.
approved. And
Mhm.
so I think the structure has got a good start based upon our initial feedback, that Donna led as a part of building that. We can use a lot of that information as a part of the bylaws. If you need to see an example of it, we can probably even show you some example of how people have written bylaws or whatever, but I bet $1,000,000, a lot of it is already what we started with.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
share with you my bylaws, because you had to develop bylaws for Destiny Institute,
Yeah.
and I used standard language and
Yeah.
then tweaked it so that it fit me. I mean, I have no problem
Mhm.
sharing that as an example of bylaws.
Mhm.
I don't know that there are very many. What we're doing, guys, in terms of developing this fund structure, you're going to find this is kind of unique. There are not a lot of people doing this.
Mhm.
So we're really you'll have family trust funds,
Mhm.
and family, your trust funds. Ford Foundation is a trust fund, but I think that what we're trying to do is unique.
Well, I understand what she's saying, so, research it down, If you
Mhm.
find a couple examples of bylaws, it's good to have an understanding for yourself
Yeah,
what it means, so that when you're trying to develop, rules or regulations or whatever, you understand what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're not clear on it, then, it's all right, look at some other bylaws, they might not, be pertaining to what we're doing, but it can
Mhm.
give you a format and a template of how you set it up. You can set it up however you want it to set it up, for whatever makes sense to what you're trying to do. But
yeah,
you have an idea of what a bylaw is and what it does. I say research it for yourself, and you feel good about what you're trying to establish.
Mhm.
yeah,
So there's nothing wrong with that. I say go for it.
yeah. So that would be good.
You know,
I heard when I asked I did ask a lawyer, I said, so what do you have in your bylaws? And he says, whatever you want in terms of how you want to operate.
mhm.
He said the bylaws can be very flexible. It's just that you decide how you want to function. And then that becomes your bylaws.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah, getting ideas from others couldn't hurt.
Mhm. So I'm just wondering, are we're talking that we're gonna start the discussion of bylaws in after June? I'm just trying to get an idea as to where this falls as far as the agenda.
I'm about to say it was next step after we do the family meeting or whatever.
Mhm.
But I'm still kind of curious as to what's going to be the fallout if we get people to come to this meeting. Is there going to be a fallout from that? As far as questions that they're going to answer, we're going
Hmm.
to answer. So
That's my concern too, Dale. That they're gonna ask bylaws kind of questions. Fran
Is
even
that what
asked
Dale
some,
was saying?
so
Is
I
that what he
understand
was
that
even?
whatever I don't know what their questions are going to be pertaining to. It might be to rules and regulations. I don't know, and I feel really comfortable if they ask a question like that to say that that's our next steps. And we would like you to be a part of that. So I don't want us to start hemming and hawing about it, like, well, I don't know, kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
just try straight up. We haven't really come to that point of figuring all that out yet, but we're in the process.
But
okay,
guess what? But
You
guess
know,
what?
uh-huh.
We do have, we already started the process because we already have them.
Mhm.
The initial thoughts, remember that, what is that report that we did?
Mhm.
The rules that's a starting point. So it's not like we haven't started. We already started.
Mhm.
There's already, I don't know, rules and regs of what we need to finalize, but we've got thoughts, put down on that already.
Mhm.
I don't think that's something that we would want to just
No,
openly. I mean, I agree with what Dale's saying. We're in the process. We've started discussing that, but that's not something that we would want to,
no,
I think, bring to the presentation. I
I
would most like that.
I agree. I like the response that, we'd like you to be a part of that. We're in
yeah,
the process of, and we would love you to be a part of setting that up.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's that.
I like that.
What I'm thinking is going to come out of this meeting is people might be questioning how if I was to join now, how could I join? We have rules on there as far as you have to pay all the back money. What happens if they come and say, I want to join, but I don't want to start from day one. I want to start now. Those kind of questions. We had addressed them and we had said what we were going to do, but are we going to be sticks in the mud on that or are we going to be flexible? So those kind of questions might come out of this meeting, that we might have to put some thought into, how we going to just say, no, these are the rules that we made.
Hmm.
Bye bye them. We're see you later. Kind of thing.
Hmm.
No, for this year we'll be more flexible and trying. So I don't know. Those are questions that we would need to ask. But they ask us those questions
It's
at
true.
the meeting, and I feel free and I feel comfortable with telling people if they ask us that question to tell them that we will get back with you on that one. Because
Okay,
I don't want to just blurt out something. Oh, sure, it's going on. Let them know that we have a process. And we have to vote on if we want to make that allowance for this time. So I mean, so I'm just saying, don't let us get stuck in the mud on any questions that are asked. If you don't have a direct answer, you know, feel free to say that. You know, they say it all the time. No, I'll get back to you.
That's a good point, Dale.
Mhm. Yeah, but I feel good. I feel good about it. You know, I feel good about where we're heading.
Hmm. Okay,
I do
well,
too.
let me ask you this only in so that we can finish this,
Mhm.
this piece. That when it, so I think that in our next meeting, Dale, that would be good, not only to deal with presentations, but what are some questions? How would we handle certain things? You know, that might be a good thing for us to have in our head so that we're prepared for possible questions. But since we're almost done with strategies, bylaws, right, Roy, we're done. What should we put here in terms of our bylaws?
You know, I would say, you know, just like you did with the family structure thing, maybe you write something similar. You know, to begin to begin formalizing, structure, as of June,
Mhm.
or begin, you know, something that was to say contact pre, no.
You know, like review the master list to do in June. Valerie wants to review other bylaws for suggestions.
Those are all,
Um,
those are tactics after you know, of course you're gonna do that. Um, Finalize incorporate suggestions by. Huh.
Hmm.
Or just say start the process.
Well, I don't think it's gonna take us that long. Because like Dale said, we've got the beginning of it already. We just need to look at it again. I like the idea of putting a date when we would be
Mhm.
done with that piece.
All right, copy that in there.
Or just hold on talking about putting that at all until after June. Let's get through this meeting first. I mean, because we might not be discussing it in July. I mean, we don't know what's going to come from it.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I don't finalize and incorporating it by July. Okay, so we're going to be meeting with, we're going to discuss in April. We're going to meet in May with
So
family.
you're saying not enough, may not have enough time.
Um,
Well, you know,
so June, let's just
thing
start
makes sense
discussing it.
because what happens at the presentation is not a lot of time for people to think and respond. So they might want to say, I'll respond by next meeting or I'll respond whatever. We might not happen. We might have to have another meeting to get their questions in response because you're giving people a lot of information, but you're not giving them time to process what they receive. So, you know, some people might be, you know, immediate reaction, and some people might be delayed. So you don't know what's going to happen as far as June.
Put it by the end of third quarter.
There you go. Hmm.
The third quarter is what?
Say
October.
that again.
You know, just finalize, incorporate it was suggested by the end of third quarter, and third quarter is
So,
what is it? Yeah.
August, September?
It's September is the end of third quarter, I think.
I
Okay.
think October.
October is the start of fourth quarter.
Oh, third quarter. Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
I like that.
yep,
Y'all
that
can say,
work.
yeah. Hmm.
If we're not pushing it, like you said, like you all were talking about before, we don't need to just
It could be
push
before
stuff.
then or whatever, but our
Mhm.
goal is to finish it by third quarter.
Mhm.
Okay, get rid of everything else.
Okay. All right, we got strategies, guys.
Yeah.
So this next meeting in April is is to discuss the PowerPoint that Roy's gonna have for us and to discuss what we're going to talk about in the May meeting.
Yep, and you're saying, Roy, that we'll get together and you want ideas from us in terms of what could go in a PowerPoint, right?
Yeah, I could take the PowerPoint, just make sure I have all this like you have here. Make sure the mission and the vision statement that we already have, that's done. The letter, that Dale, did, we had that. And then
Mhm.
we just put that in like a PowerPoint. And then the other part is like next steps. And so the next steps could be some of these, like the develop family fund or bylaw. That should be the third, shift that, like
Yeah.
we said. And so make the bylaws, family structure, let's see, meeting feedback or membership feedback, or I don't know, whatever the next steps would be. And then we go from there. I mean, we might want to do this again at the end of the year.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
So at the end of the year, here's what we said we wanted to do, here's what we accomplished.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So,
I just
yeah.
want to kind of get a feeling as to what we're doing at this next.
So the
So you're gonna
main
have the
focus is,
PowerPoint presentation to us.
yeah, our PowerPoint presentation, and I like what Dale did was being sure that we're clear on how to answer what questions could come up.
At the next meeting.
Yep, at the next meeting.
So that's a part of just meeting prep.
Yeah.
Mhm. We also need to
So-
establish a person, 'cause I don't think we all need to be jumping in and out and trying to answer questions that come up, that are not of the norm. Roy, or somebody could be, and Donna, I don't care who, it could be the person that when a question comes up, they'll be the person to say, we don't have the answer, we'll get back to you, or whatever the answer may be. And not to have everybody jumping in and out, trying to answer stuff, because that adds to confusion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just all of us know that question comes up, that person's going to answer it, unless that person says, I'm turning over to whoever to answer that question. If they don't have the answer or something, then somebody else can answer it for them, but not everybody answering it. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We do want to sound like we're of one mind, one heart, unified
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
responses.
Yeah.
So again, something that we can maybe discuss next week, Dale, since
Yeah,
that's going to be our focus is
Mhm.
family, the presentation. And when should our next meeting be, guys?
Well, we already said it was the second week we moved it because
Mhm.
Gabby is on vacation because she got old.
Ah-ha.
That's her birthday.
Ah-ha. Okay, so the second week in April is the 15th. I mean, wait a minute.
No, the second week in April is the 8th. That's in a couple of weeks
Oh.
because
Okay.
No,
of the way
that's Easter weekend, so no.
the 8th is Easter.
Yeah, the 8th, the 8th is the day before Easter, so that won't work.
No.
Yeah,
So 15th.
15th. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right, because the first day falls on the first, so yeah.
Yeah.
So 15th, that work, everybody?
15th works for me.
When, Roy, when do you think that you'll have the presentation for us to look at before the meeting? On the 15th.
On the 14th. I'm trying to do it a couple weeks before then. Let's see.
I'm gonna shift some ideas to you, Roy. You're good with this, and I know it, but I'm gonna submit some visual ideas.
So before the 31st?
Hmm.
You mean by March 31st?
Okay.
He's like, as soon as I can get it done, I'll get it to you, so.
So if we have any suggestions or pictures or anything like that, we're sending them to you.
No, I think what I want to do is in reality is I'll give you a core, and then you if it needs to be tweaked, we'll tweak it in the meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, because
All right.
if tweaking it won't be hard to do.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I thought you said you wanted to do, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't, you know. Okay.
All right. All right.
I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking on it, I don't know what Roy's gonna put together, or whatever, I'm sure it'd be great, but, do we want to think about stuff that we can say about each of these points, you know, like financial plan, business statement, mission statement? I don't know, Roy. I mean, I know you got to think about it and figure out how you're gonna put it all together, or are you just gonna create a bullet point that says that? Or do people need to have talking points around those things?
You know, you can create talking points. Okay, so when you get to the deck, how it's set up, you know, you give people bullet points, and then you create talking points. You can do that on each page. Let's say, for example, Dale, you get assigned to present the whatever. Then you can take those pages, and you can add your own talking point notes on those pages. You know, that's only seen by you,
Right.
and you can review it, you know, and go through it and script it that way to, you know, for yourself. But the presentation should be just bullet points, and you should be able to talk from those bullet points. You don't want to write out everything you say on a
Right.
Yeah, 'cause then it sounds
Mhm.
mechanical.
Mhm.
So that's what I was thinking. As far as Donna, you have, I don't know if you send us copies of all that kind of stuff. You know, maybe the mission statement and the vision statement. Can any of you remember what we talked about to get to where we were? I mean, I could probably just free will.
I don't think we did all the heavy lifting. We don't have to, we do not have to define anything anymore. Right now, it's just presenting what we went through. So I think like I said, the letter that has been intro, you know, why are we here? That's that. You know, okay, and now how do we you know continue, you know, the legacy, you know, from this, you know, from this intro? I mean, that letter should, the initial intro should capture people. And get them going, yeah. And then once then now all of a sudden we thought about this. So what's the vision? Boom. Vision is blah blah blah. Why, you know, why did we come up with this vision? Blah blah blah. That could be added. What's the mission? The mission is to boom. And then objectives and strategies are outlined here, you know, pretty good. And it's really showing like a plan of action.
Mhm.
And that we have thought this out. And then in the end, to be able to tell people, you know, this is what we want to accomplish, our objectives, what we want to accomplish, financial, emotional, etc., which is in here, is structured. And the goal is the goal of this meeting is what? To see if we can get more people, correct?
Mhm.
So we need to be able to allow for discussion.
Mhm.
Well, like in the end, I mean, or maybe even in the end, because a lot of times you don't want people interrupting you while you're kind of going through, because you'll answer the questions anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of go through it, but you got to allow them to be able to give their feedback. What do you
Yeah.
think? Is there
Yeah.
anything that you would adjust? Is there anything that you would change? Almost like make them be a part of that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, is this something that you would want to be a part of?
Mhm.
And yes, why? No, why?
Mhm.
And is there something that we can do to make this clearer or better or have the vision, blah, blah, blah? Well, suppose you were a part of that. So it was clear. Suppose you could be a part of helping to develop that further. Is that something of interest? It's not gonna get, everybody's not gonna want to do it. It would be some,
Right.
man,
Mhm.
but if we got like 4 people, that I think that would be like,
Huh.
gee,
Amazing. It'd be
that
amazing.
Mhm.
get 4 more people.
Wow. Huh.
That would mean we got all of our nieces and and Kathy.
That's a
Yeah.
goal. I mean, that's a heck of a goal.
Yeah.
So maybe from us internally, maybe we only got a couple now. Maybe we get the rest at the end of the year. Who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something
else
else
is
we
it?
really thought about, and ideas just kind of pop in your head when they pop in, is there a family fund structure for kids or for younger adults who haven't really maybe found themselves yet, so they're still struggling, to find themselves or whatever. So is there a lesser amount that they could contribute and be part of it without having to do the whole shot there? So maybe half or something. I don't know, just a thought that just popped in my head.
It's a
Yeah.
good thought. I mean,
Okay.
Lauren's in
Mhm.
college. Could
Mhm.
she do this, toward in December, November, December? So yeah. So a smaller amount might be more appealing to
Mhm.
someone who's in
Just a thought.
college.
Hmm.
There's just different thoughts kind of popping in your head when they pop in, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
not something we need to talk about at this meeting or anything. It's something maybe you make
Mhm.
note of or something that you might think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So yeah, next meeting, yeah, we can kind of hash it out. Do we want to role play that meeting or do we want to just free will it?
Role play.
I don't know if we want to role play it because Roy's going to be getting insight in terms of what to include in it, in terms of that. So we might want to, I don't know if we need to schedule another time. Because if he's getting insight from us and pointers and we're giving him feedback and all of that, we won't be in a place to role play it. Because he's
Mhm.
going to be getting information from us, right, Roy? Is that my understanding? That you're going to present some bullet points and want us to give you feedback in terms of what you share with us?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'll just pull a presentation.
When Dale says role playing, I don't think we'll be ready to role play at our next meeting because of him pulling stuff together still.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we may be able to at least give bullet points of when if we talk about certain topics, here's the bullet points. I mean, here's some things that I think should be brought up, and then that
Okay.
could be given to that person who's going to be responsible for that part of the deck, and then they just make sure they incorporate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I was doing this, and I mean, I think this is good that we're doing this, but we're also talking to family. If I would
Mhm.
go into a formal meeting, a bunch of people I don't know, I probably would definitely be even more serious in the whole role play, because I know what Dale's talking about. Most cases you have here's your deck, here's your thing, you write it out, and then everybody uh go through it together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think he's saying is like, here's the deck. Now everybody knows what their role is. Now
Yeah.
let's go through it. How's it sound? I mean, maybe let's determine that once we kind of get to decks and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which means, maybe the following week or next week or a week before we do a quick practice and that's all we talk about.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Not, and it won't be long like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe it will be a role play, but let's kind of get the information first and then see how it looks.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, guys, I can't,
Okay, yep, it's
Oh,
2:15.
Yeah.
Yep, almost 2.5 hours, but a good meeting.
Information. Time well spent.
Definitely, definitely.
good stuff, good stuff.
Who's gonna close out in
Mhm.
prayer? Because when I asked Valerie last time, she passed.
Well, we can't pass this time. Come on, Val.
Come
I'll
on, Valerie,
pray.
close us out in prayer.
I like to hear my sister pray. Go ahead, Val.
Come on, Valerie,
It's gonna
come
be
on.
short.
That's
It's
all
gonna be
right.
very short.
That's all right.
Talk about language.
Jesus
Talk
wept.
about language.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, Lord God, I just thank you for family. I thank you for this discussion. I thank you for this family fund that we're trying to develop. I thank you that you sit in the midst of all of our meetings and you see the love that we're striving to push. And so we just thank you for the thoughts, thank you for the wisdom, thank you for the growth, thank you for the direction, and thank you for each other. Thank you for family, Lord God. You are the creator of all family. And we just thank you that I thank you that I am a part of this family. And I just think and look forward to the things that you're going to do through this family fund, through us, and through whoever joins us in the future. Bless our households, bless our families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
There you go. There you go.
Nice and short.
Yeah.
Nice and short.
Yeah, Donna would still be talking right now.
Yeah. He's just warming up.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Well,
Thanks,
good,
guys.
guys.
I just
All right.
I just want to say you guys are like awesome. I mean, it's the stuff we get out of each other is it is at high level, no less than anything that I've ever experienced or seen. You guys are killers. So
Amen.
blessed to be
Amen.
part of this family. So
Mhm.
Yes.
Our
All right.
skills complement each other well.
yeah.
Mhm.
All righty.
All right.
All right. Love y'all. Love
Love you too.
y'all.
Yes.
Bye.